So a little bit about cleaning the horn and maintenance. The horn is a very, very complicated machine. Yeah, you see all these things, rotors, a mouthpiece, the bell. So I'll show you how to disassemble it pretty quickly. This is a Alexander 103 double horn, and it's played by most professionals around. So first, removing the bell is pretty easy. Just taking your hand and then screwing it off. My hand is big. If your hand is small, make sure you do it on a seat or a carpet, because I've had students that did this and then dropped straight off the table, and then you'll have to pay lots of money to buy a new bell or repair the bell. So just be very careful, yeah, when you're doing that. The reason why it comes off is it's just easier to carry. So for going on the airplane stuff, you don't need to put it in the undercarriage. You can just put it on top of your locker in the locker. So this is the first part. The bell comes off. Second, just removing slides. So all these are different slides. Slides, what they do is they tune the instrument. So if we pull it out, it gets longer, the pitch goes lower. Yeah, push it in, it gets shorter, and the pitch goes higher. So it's pretty easy. Emptying water, I'll show you what to do. Yep, so I'll just take it off, empty the water. And emptying this one, and then you have the different slides for different keys. So first valve, just take that out. Make sure you empty your water as you take them out, because they usually have water inside, yeah? And the B flat tuning slide, which I never take out. That's the B flat tuning slide, so there's a different tuning slide. So after you take it out, it's always good to oil your valves. Now, usually you don't need to oil them very often if you practice a lot. But if you don't practice a lot, you do need to oil them, because what happens is it gets dry and it starts rusting up inside. And when it starts rusting up, your valves get stuck. So you see a lot of kids, it's really easy for a teacher to tell if your students haven't been practicing, because if their valves are stuck, it means you haven't touched the horn for a long time. Yeah, so just take out the valve caps. These are the valve caps. And then just oil. Mine's pretty dirty, this one. So it's a light rotor oil. So look for rotor or valve oil and just put it in these places. So first place to put it for me is usually these valve caps on top. And then underneath on the bottom here. So just in between. It's maybe hard to see, just in between, yeah? There's a little gap and you can put it in. And that usually should be okay. But if it's not enough, you need to put it into the actual slide here, in here, okay? So to do that, you need to make sure you line up directly in the center, because if you put it on the side, it actually drips onto the side, and the grease for the actual slides gets washed down into the valve, and you don't want to do that. So if it goes down to the wall of that tubing, then it actually carries the grease down into your valves, and it might slow it down. So what I do is just center it, make sure it's really centered, and drop exactly in the middle. Yeah, so it goes plop. Yep, and a couple drops will do. And then that's it. And then you should have really fast valves. So your slides can get really sticky and stuck as well. And I have some paper towel. It rusts up really easily. So make sure you can wipe that off a little bit, like so. And after you wiped it off, you'll see it's kind of yellowish. And the reason why it's yellowish is all from the rust and corrosion. And just wipe that off. And then you have something else called, another type of thing called slide grease. So this is called slide gel, yeah, slide gel. And with that, you just put a little bit on, and it'll make it really smooth to go in and out. I'll show you, like so. It becomes super smooth, yeah. So I'll show you, yeah. So just stick it in like this. Yeah. And you do that for every slide. Just on the edge, outside edge of the slide. This stuff is actually pretty easy, so you can do all this at home. But for real maintenance, I would recommend taking it to a professional to get it professionally cleaned, maybe every year. I tend to do it every year, and it just keeps everything working and in shape. So if you do this maybe once a month, it should be enough to keep you going for at least a year. So I put in all the slides, so it should be pretty much working. Just now the valve caps, just screw on like that. Pretty easy. Now there's 2 more things that you should actually do, or 3 more. First thing is the mouthpiece. Now the mouthpiece, it can get pretty dirty, so you need a mouthpiece brush, okay? And I didn't discover how important this was when I was really young. And I was playing really well for my teacher, and all of a sudden, my teacher was like, "What is going on? Why is everything so bad?" He didn't have any idea, and I didn't have any idea. But I've been eating a lot of food and playing at the same time, and I was just like, "What is going on? Why is it so hard to play the horn?" And then he had another student with him at the time, and I went in, and then I tried his mouthpiece, and I'm like, "Wow, it's amazing!" And then my teacher was like, Give me your mouthpiece. And I took a look, it was almost blocked. The hole was almost gone. So I couldn't blow through it. And of course, as soon as I cleaned it, it was really clean, it was easy to play again. So just make sure you do this. So you get a mouthpiece brush and just go through it. I do this like maybe every 2-3 weeks. And brush your teeth before playing, or else there's a lot of food. And another thing also, this is a snake, yeah? A snake. And what it does is it cleans the inside of the lead pipe. And the lead pipe is the very first pipe that goes into the horn. So it connects to your mouthpiece, and then that's the very first pipe. So what you usually do is take the lead pipe, you put a little of detergent and water onto the little head of the snake, and then you just shove it in until it comes out the other side. See, now it's coming out. So all you do is do that, and then you just pull it out. This is a trick I learned from Timothy Jones of the London Symphony Orchestra. He taught me how to make the rim smoother to connect to the horn. And what I used to do is put oil here, and he's like, "Don't do that." And I'm like, "Why?" He says, what happens is the oil gets stuck on the rim, and then it picks up lots of the dirt you get in the case. So all the fur, the lint, and it gets stuck there, and then it builds up and gets stickier and builds up. And then when you put it on the horn, it gets lower and more, it gets worse. So what he said is to wipe it down first. So wipe this side down, like so. And then wipe the other side down, like so. So like just making sure you get in there. Yep. And then get a really sharp pencil. So this pencil is not quite sharp enough, but you can try. And try to do it without, yep. And then you just draw around it, like so. And try to go around and around. And what that does is actually pencils are made from graphite. And what you're doing is you're giving it a very, very thin layer of graphite around the rim, and that acts as a lubricant. So you know, if you like draw on a paper, you can feel that it's really shiny and smooth, and that's graphite. That's what you're leaving. You're leaving bits of carbon on the actual page, and that's what you're doing right now. You're leaving tiny bits of carbon and graphite on the rim, and that acts as a lubricant. And I found it really effective. So if you put it on now, it should be pretty smooth. So hopefully, yeah, super smooth. You can see it doesn't make a lot of sound, and it's really smooth. So that's how you clean a horn.